These green tile, I am told, are asbestos tiles, but if asbestos tiles are not broken, they are not hazardous. So every time an asbestos tile breaks, we have to replace it or repair the floor. And in this whole entire building, you can see all the patchwork where we needed to replace those tiles. And sometimes we get real inventive, and in the past couple of years, we've been, this putty stuff does the same trick. And that's a constant maintenance problem in this side of the building. This particular classroom and the one next door is absolutely wonderful too, because the birds like to live up here. Sometimes they're chirping, just you can hear them right through these old, I guess, what are those, old shoes of some sort. And we have another constant leaking problem here in this corner when it rains hard. My office also has a constant leak from the roof. And what I do is I just spray paint the tiles white so you don't know it. Exactly right. We also have a problem in this building with bats. In the cupola, we've had exterminators here and whatnot, but in the cupola there are bats. And a few weeks ago, one of them was just having a grand time sitting on one of the windows. So everybody got to see. Yeah, well, bats also carry disease, so we don't like to have them around.
You get the birds in the wall after the bats.
We do have birds in the wall. We have bats in the cupola. We have had several problems with squirrels. We have had dead rodents, and those are gorgeous when they die behind the walls. We get a wonderful aroma for quite a long time. That is standard in this school, and I am not trying to paint a bleaker picture than what is really here. This really exists at this school. Nobody's making it up. The leaks are real. The termites in the gym that are eating the wall are real. The heating system that is uneven is real. There are rooms in this building in the winter that are like sweat boxes, and other rooms in this building that are like ice boxes.
What do we do about the termites? We're just letting them feed?
I guess it's hard to treat termites. They get treated, but if you're going to treat termites properly, from my understanding, you really need to dig a trench, you need to pour the holes, you need to drop the chemicals in, and that is a massively expensive proposition. Another way to do it now is they've got some sort of a new technique where you can put baits around the building as well. That is also very expensive. You have to decide what you want to spend your money on.
Well, I'd like to take care of the termites.
Again, nobody will move. We're going to go downstairs all the way down. I'll let you lead the way while I hold the door.
What's that?
Luck of the draw, probably, where the buildings.
Well, you got the outside door, you got the cross ventilation from this door and these windows. I noticed all the windows they do also.
Yes, I remember. How many years ago, Mark?
This is the door of what?
No, probably 5 or 6.
Okay.
That way.
Yeah, the windows are beautiful.
But that would have been needed no matter what we did, so.
Yeah, they were really bad. They were bad when I went to school.
They were the original windows until
Oh,
5
sure,
years ago?
absolutely.
Wow. Pretty much what building.
You've seen all the storage space, and the supplies haven't come in yet.
You know, the problem is not yours, it's the
No.
administration.
It's not my, watch your step here, you don't fall.
But it could be
Mr. Hassett.
This is an interesting classroom problem. And again, we talk about maintenance, but this area has been very well maintained. But it's a constant problem because of the way the building was constructed way back when. And that is that underneath here, this floor, water rises up beyond the floor, and we have floods in this classroom quite often. And that's, I guess, a water table sort of issue, I would imagine. And as a result, there's been a lot of rot, and we have repeatedly replaced this floor to deal with the problem as it rots. We have a lot of leaking going on in this building. That's one of the major leaking areas. Another is behind this door, if you'd be so kind to open that. And the water, even though there's drain systems in place, the water pours in there and floods. Now, the other place that we have water problems, besides the roof, where we have lots of places in the building where the roof is leaking, we also have the perimeter of the building. There is a French drain of some sort, but it's not solving the problem of water damage that we get in that teacher's room where the 2 female bathrooms are, or in the reading room that you saw, or in the office or in that room with the red floor where we're going to store materials and have a little conference area. That entire side of the building in heavy rain will flood and pour right out into the hallway. And yet we have a French drain system in place. And it's been looked at repeatedly. This building, I think, was built in 1917. Correct. Another interesting point, maybe, that will be helpful, is that this was the first school, from my understanding, and the historic people will help me out here. But my understanding is that this was the first school built in North Reading. There were a couple of other places that were used as schools.
Schoolhouses scattered about town. There were 5 of them.
Right. And then for high school, they went to other towns.
Well,
They went
we
to
also-
Reading, and then tuition was paid to
Right.
Peabody when the state wouldn't pay, any longer pay. But
At different periods in time, there were
Yeah.
different methods of teaching. But once the bachelor school opened in 1917, all of the schools, the district schools, were closed.
so this
So
housed
this
everybody.
housed everybody through the 9th grade.
And what was the population in the town? I think was around 500 then?
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
No, well,
Because most of this, I think, was forested
1917?
area.
oh, 17.
Now,
told me that there were
I'll take your word for it.
classrooms of the
Originally.
original school.
yes, but there were
Originally-
also only 500 families in town, I believe.
Ninth grade, so.
The other interesting thing that I think is an interesting point, maybe I'm crazy, but this was the first kind of official big school built outside of the district schools. And yet, there's been a high school built, a middle school built, and 2 other elementary schools built. 3 other
Right, the one that closed.
Okay, 1 closed. But of the 3 elementary schools, the middle and the high school that are left, this is by far the oldest building. And this is the only building that has not been renovated in some way, shape, or form.
Yes, it
In
has.
50 years.
We put in
In 50 years, I'm sorry.
Right,
In 50
1950
years.
that opened.
It has not been
The
renovated
shoebox.
since 1950 then.
Right,
And
I
yet-
wish you could have seen it before.
Was it horrible, huh?
It was horrible. I can't wait for you to show us the ladies' room.
Oh, I did.
You have to go real bad?
Said
you couldn't wait.
You
just wanna step back.
Seats will be too
No, wasn't there a girls' room opposite the gym?
Broke there because they just shellacked the floor, but that's the gym if you want to go down, and then we have to go back.
You have to go check out the gym down here.
They have this open, they closed the middle school and.
I apologize that they shellacked the gym floor, they just finished cleaning and shellacked the
spots.
Murphy batch had a gym. No, they never had a gym.
Isn't that what we vote? We go to gym?
The Murphy, no, we're talking about the
Town hall.
Town hall.
Yeah.
They never had a gym.
That's what you vote.
Yeah, but we didn't have a gym up there. No. Oh, I don't look at the gym.
Okay, this is the gym area, and if you notice, there's no additional space on the edge of the basketball court or the floors for padding or anything else. It's very tight. It's very small, and again, we're talking 400 and some odd students that have to utilize this small facility here. This is what they have for the bachelor school gym.
Oh, that's exactly what's happening. It's so silly.
Now, that's a handicap one. There'd be nowhere to walk, you're exactly
Steve, I
right.
think some people want to come through.
So this used to be a bathroom?
No, I know.
Now, some of you who went here know what this was, but I think it was the shower room. Is that right or wrong?
No, this is the toilets were all along there.
Okay. Well, we use it now for occupational therapy, and we also use it as a resource room for children with learning disabilities. We have another resource room as well that's bigger, but oftentimes there are so many children at once that are in the resource room needing services. Some children, cannot have the distraction, and so oftentimes we'll do 2 or 3, you can see the 3 chairs, children at a time, who really will learn best in a very, very quiet space with total focus. And we do that with children who have severe learning needs. And we have found that in order to meet their needs, this is the best solution. And as I said, it's the only space we have for occupational ed. So there's a I'm in and I'm out kind of chart that hangs on the outside of this door, and the occupational therapist and one of the resource room teachers have organized their schedule so that they aren't in here at the same time. I think we'll go this way to the girls' bathroom that serves this part of the building as well.
Not as different as you thought.
I don't see it.
That really brings you to the end of the school. There are places I can't take you in the building, such as the boiler room and some of the classrooms, because we physically can't get there because we have wet wax on the floors. Otherwise, I think you've seen all of the inside of the school. Yes, did you miss that?
You may get it.
So if everybody would just stop, and I'm going to do something that the state official did when he came to this building in 1994, and it was for this reason, one of many, that the state will not reimburse North Reading. So I'm going to do it, and then I want you to do the same thing, okay? And then tell me what you think. Now you do the same thing. Okay? Do you feel anything? Do you feel any kind of movement? This structure is wood, and the state will not reimburse. And Jim Anderson, who at that time was the director of school building assistance, jumped up and down and several times said, wood here, I don't reimburse. And that began the series of issues in looking at the new building.
Do you want to
All at
get
once.
this?
How about the police station?
So we're just going to go right